Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 1. It's me, your host, Logic Blade, and it's good to see you all again today. Last time around, we learned what our new curriculum was, and we started our field studies up. So now we're starting here fresh in Celtic, and we're gonna see what terrible troubles are gonna befall us here. We've recently learned that taxation's a bitch, and that's about it. Anyway, check out our new intro screen here. We got Laura joining us. It's quite nice. Quite nice. In any case, while I've got your attention, like, comment, subscribe, do all the needful. Help support the channel. It brings Kiseki closer to our hearts, where they belong. In any case, we got ourselves a hidden quest. So let's take care of that one right away, shall we? Alright, troops, how's it going? That's not Scottish, is it? No, not even close. Are y'all learning much out there? For the most part, yes. It's serving as a reminder that we still have quite the ways to go. However, we have every intention of making the most out of this experience. That's what I like to hear. I'm actually about to get started on our evening sale, so I'll give y'all a wee discount if... Wait a minute, I just think I had a belter of an idea. What might that be? Right, I know y'all be tired after your hard work today, but... And yeah, having to fancy a wee goat running the store for a bit. Are you sure? Oh aye, it's fine. This line of work's all about having the skills to negotiate well, so it'd be some good experience for ye all. So, how about it? It's certainly an interesting proposal. Hey Zach, how's it going? We're gonna practice haggling our wares, as all JRPGs ought to do. Well, if you're willing to let us do it, I don't see why not. Ah, good to hear. Let's get started right away then. I mentioned that I was about to get started on an evening sale, didn't I? Might be a wee bit tough, but I'd like you to handle it. That does sound kind of rough. The idea behind it's simple enough, at least. All you need to do is make some appropriate discounts to make a sale. The amount you discount varies, but sometimes you'll be taken up to half price. Half price? That's a lot. Is it even possible to make a profit by doing that? It doesn't always work out, I even went to the red a few times thanks to it. But even then, I still think doing it's worthwhile. Worthwhile enough even to send yourself into the red? Aye, my personal philosophy is that the amount of sales you make is more important than how much you make. The more sales you make, the more happy customers you got. And you got more and more customers walking away happy, then your store's gonna have a good reputation. So basically, it all ends up benefiting you in the long run. I see where you're coming from there. Though there's nothing to say I'm 100% correct. Oh aye, I meant to say, how y'all feel about handling the store separately at different times? I'm okay with it, but any particular reason why? Well, there's no harm in competing with each other, is there? Think of each other as rivals and try to win as hard as you can. That does seem like an effective way to motivate oneself. I don't know about you guys, but sales aren't exactly my forte. Guess I'll take it as a learning experience. It does sound like it'll be fun, though. Can I ask if there's any specific guidelines when it comes to giving discounts, though? I assume how much of a discount you can give offers differs based on the type of goods being sold. Aye, spot on. I split everything up into fresh goods and processed goods. Fresh goods speak for themselves, really. You'll want to get them sold out as quick as you can. That being said, you're free to make these up to half price if it comes to it, just so we can get them all sold. Processed goods will not expire like fresh ones though, so there's no point in discounting them too much. You cannot just sell them at full price, but 20% is the max off you should go. So fresh goods can be sold for as much as 50% off, while processed goods can only be sold at 20% off. Got it. Here's hoping I remember that. Oh aye, don't be shy to bump prices up a wee bit either. Deciding when the best times to do that's all up to you lot. One can assume doing so all depends on how well we negotiate with each customer then. Aye. Now that that's sorted, let's get started. Does not matter what order y'all go in, but how about you go first? That's fine with me. That settles it. Let's see what you're made of then, Reen. I wish you luck. Thanks. Here's hoping it goes well. Time to haggle my wares, everyone. Welcome, welcome! We're currently in the middle of our evening sale. As I crack open an ice-cold Pepsi. He's more of a natural than I would have guessed. Aye, he'll bring in customers with guts like that. Wow, I don't think I could put myself out there like that. I'm rather worried myself. Oh, his first customers arrived. Ho-ho, are you working here part-time? I almost thought you were a pro with a voice like that. Oh, thank you. By the way, do you have any tomatoes? I need some for tonight's dinner, you see. We actually do have some. How many are you looking for? I think 5 should do for now. There seems to be a sale going on at the moment, too, so how much would that end up being? It's 10 mira per tomato, and I can give her up to half off because they're fresh goods. How much should I sell them for in total? So, we could just knock off a little bit. We could knock off up to 50%, but, let's play in the middle here. 5 tomatoes would usually go for 50 mira, but I can offer you them for 35 mira instead. How does that sound? That sounds fine. I'll take them. Thank you for your purchase. Seems like he's made his first sale. Indeed, it appears to have gone rather smoothly, too. Oh, here's another customer. A sale, is it? That sounds interesting. We're offering discounts on all of our goods, so feel free to have a look. I assume that applies to this wine as well. Of course. Wine doesn't fall under fresh goods, so... The wine costs 1,000 mira. How much will you sell it for? So, we can knock off at most 20%, so none of these will work. But, you know what? We're just going to give him a 10% discount. We can't just give away our stock. How does 900 mira sound? You sure you can't do better than that? Well, we can sell it for 800. Or we can include some cheese for 20% off, because cheese is also a processed good. It doesn't expire immediately. How about this? If you buy it now, I'll include this cheese for 20% off. Oh ho, that's an interesting offer. Cheese accompanies wine rather well, too, so allow me to take you up on that. Thank you for your purchase. That went pretty well. See, you sell more things that way. Upselling. Number one rule of marketing. Seems like he's gotten into the swing of things. Aye, I look forward to hearing how much you sold it for. Here's another customer. Oh, the evening sales finally started. What happened to Lemon? He's left me in charge for a bit. Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Mom asked me to get some stuff for dinner. How much are you selling cabbages for? I need 3, but she told me buy extra if they're cheap. It's 20 mira per cabbage, and they fall under fresh goods, so... I like how they just give you so many frickin' options here. So, let's be real nice. Sell 6 for 60 mira. 3 would normally cost 60 mira, but... Does 6 for that same price sound good? So I get double the amount for free? I'm sure my mom would be happy to hear that. Can I have them then? Of course. Thank you for your purchase. And thus, Reen's turn came to an end, and the others were given a chance to try their hand at merchantry. Interesting maneuver. Right, y'all had your turns then. Good job, troops. We owe you our thanks for giving us an opportunity to experience this. I agree. I'm sure experience like this will come in handy down the line. Glad to hear it. A lot of you did well too, considering it was your first time. It's pretty interesting seeing how your personality has affected your results too. Speaking of which, how did we all do in the end? Well, You had the least amount of sales out of everyone, Elliot. You did manage to make a fair amount, though. But that also means you didn't really offer that much of a discount. You have to be more aggressive, really. Sorry about that. Next up is Laura. You're a bit way too generous with the discounts. Making lots of sales is good, but you still have to consider how much you're making from them, though. Understood. My thanks for the advice. Next up is Reen. You ended up doing really well in both the number of sales and how much you made. I'm pretty impressed, honestly. With a bit more experience, you could become a fine merchant. You think so? I guess we've discovered another one of Reen's hidden talents. Well done, Reen. Being told that by someone with experience here really is impressive. And finally, Elisa. You wouldn't happen to have some prior experience, would you? Not really, no. That really is amazing, then. I have to be honest here. You almost managed to sell as much and make as I normally do. He even got a unique style that brings the customers in. So there really isn't any advice for me to give you. That's quite the evaluation. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. So Elisa has the skill to potentially become a successful merchant, then. I have to admit that I'm a bit surprised. I did not expect her to be this skilled either. Do any of her relatives happen to be involved with this line of work? Not that I know, no. Well, either way, today ended up being pretty interesting thanks to you lot. Here, take this. Your wages for the day. You made some good money too, so here, a weird bonus. Thank you very much. Are you sure? Aye, no danger. Y'all earned it. I'll catch y'all later then. And there we go. And now I can retire my Scottish accent for all time. Just kidding. We're going to see Becky next chapter anyway. So we got ourselves a coral bracelet. Gives us a bit of strength, prevents seal. And a marble bracelet. Bit of arts, prevents mute. That is very good for Elliot. Gotta get my arts up. And my strength up for Laura. This should be fine. This is life. We are good. So I believe that does it for all the side quests around here. Just gonna go turn in some Sepith. See if I can upgrade a slot maybe. I doubt it. I think I've already did this, actually. Yeah. Oh, well, I can open that one at least. Good. Good, good, good. So that is 3 slots for everyone at this point. And actually 4 for Reen now. None of these are really useful at the moment, but I guess I'll take the evade quartz. Alright. To bed we go. I don't think there's anything else I need to do here, but I'm just checking real quick. Yes, I should have 41 at the end of the night here. So, Zach, how's it going tonight?
Ah, that was delicious. Those were some seriously fresh vegetables, too.
Yeah, nothing beats food made from local ingredients.
I quite enjoyed the rye bread myself.
I suppose this whole field study thing isn't so bad when you take the menu into account. I wonder what the others in Group B are doing right now.
Probably bickering.
Somehow, I doubt they're sitting around a table and talking like we are.
That would certainly be a shock if they were. I can't help but question what exactly Class 7's purpose is, though. Instructor Sarah says it's about Arcus, but I don't think that's the only reason we've been brought together.
I'm certain it's not. If that were all, today's field study tasks would serve little purpose.
It seems as though she's trying to make us experience, I don't know, things. Like all kinds of things, big and small. What I can't wrap my head around, though, is why.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Instead of trying to put everything in its place, why don't you just go with the flow for a change? It seems like you're desperately trying to find something. But if you don't plant yourself somewhere, you're just gonna blow away with the next big gust that comes along.
What do we have to offer one another, when our reasons for enrolling at Thor's in the first place are undoubtedly very different?
Our reasons?
I hadn't considered that.
My reason for enrolling was quite simple.
I wanted to fight people.
I aim to come ever closer to my goal. Or rather, to the person whom I regard as such.
Who's that?
This is neither the time nor the place to discuss such matters. Best to save that topic for another day.
She's talking about her dear daddy-o.
What about you, Elisa? Why did you enroll at the academy?
I hate that her hair just like clips through her tits like that. But I mean, that's the same for everyone.
There's no one single reason, but I think I just wanted to assert my independence. I mean, my situation back at home isn't exactly ideal, and this seemed like a good way to get out and do more, I guess.
I see.
It sounds like I'm probably in the minority then. See, I wasn't intending on coming here at all originally. I wanted to do something completely different.
You did?
Oh yeah, you said you were really hoping you'd get into a music academy, right?
Yeah, balls to that.
Oh?
Well, I wasn't that serious about it or anything.
Says the guy with 4 frickin' violins in his room.
What about you, Reen? You're the last holdout, and since you're the one who brought it up, it's only fair you answer the question too.
Me? I wanted to find myself, I guess.
Find yourself?
Huh?
Sorry. That makes it sound like a much bigger deal than it actually is.
I can't find myself. My GPS can't find me.
That's
I don't
the
know what
best
to
way I
do.
can think of to put it, though.
Nothing wrong with that. Going on a journey of self-discovery? It's actually a pretty cool answer.
Yeah, I had no idea you were such a romanticist. You sure don't come across as one.
I shouldn't have said anything.
God, Laura, what's got your panties in a twist? So, you want me to wake you up at 6 tomorrow, right? No, my God, no. So, you want me to wake you up at 6 tomorrow, right? Yes, please. We only have until tomorrow evening, so we need to get an early start. We really appreciate it. Not a problem at all. Have a good night. I can't get into my Texan voice. Oh well. Such is life. Good night.
But we're not actually going to sleep yet, are we? Not until we write our reports for the day.
I want to shut off my brain so badly right now, but it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon.
Wait, your brain's been on?
She seems to have forgotten all about the room situation. And I'm not about to remind her.
Reen?
What is it?
I was unsure whether to ask or not, but I've decided that this question bears answering. Why have you chosen to hold back?
Damn, coming right out with it.
Your sword style and technique. It is the 8 Leaves, 1 Blade school, is it not?
Damn. It's like she knew my swordsmanship. She knows me.
Popularized by the sword hermit, Yun Kafai, it combines the best elements of other Eastern sword styles. Those who master any of its forms are referred to as a divine blade, and are said to understand the true nature of all things.
And we've met 2 divine blades. One of them certainly understands the nature of all things. The other one's Ario's. And you kind of screwed the pooch.
You certainly know an awful lot about it. I didn't think it was particularly renowned here in the Empire.
We of the Arcade School consider the studying of other swordsmanship styles to be an essential part of our training. In addition, my father once told me, if you follow the path of the sword, it is only a matter of time before you encounter a follower of the 8 Leaves.
Your father said that? It's an honor to be acknowledged by the Radiant Blade Master himself. I'm nothing special, though. I'm just a dropout who's never even been able to progress past beginner level. I did train under Master Ka-Fi for a while, but I started to feel like I couldn't go any further with my abilities, and he cut my training short.
What?
So I'm really not holding back. Honest. I actually kind of feel like I'm dirtying the good name of the 8 Leaf School, in fact. But this is my limit. I'm sorry I can't quite live up to your expectations.
Damn, dude. Such a liar.
Laura?
You have no reason to apologize to me. This is a matter you must come to terms with on your own.
Admittedly, I'm kind of pissed off at you for being such a bitch. I kind of expected better from you.
Though I'll admit to some disappointment. I was hoping you'd prove to be a good sparring partner. I'm going to practice outside for a bit. Please go and finish your report with Elisa and Elliot.
There's a lot he doesn't want to talk about, huh? I can see in his eyes sometimes that he's bottling something up and trying really hard to keep anyone else from noticing.
You've noticed it too? You sure have taken quite an interest in him.
I was just trying to work out the best time to apologize, that's all.
Yeah, so I've just been stalking him for the past 2 weeks. And now I totally want to jump his... Wait, no. Sorry, no.
It's not like I've been consciously paying attention to him or anything, honestly.
Baka?
Reen's not the only one bottling up his feelings, though, is he? You've been doing the same thing.
Yeah, I guess I have.
Oh, teenage drama. So sweet and innocent. Till it stops being sweet and innocent. It just becomes petty and catty. Alright, I didn't screw anything up. So, behold, 41 AP.
Keep up the good work.
Not quite enough to get to the next rank, but I should be able to get there by the end of today. Let's see what new and exciting quests are on the docket for us tonight. Here are your tasks for the day. The market manager left them with me. Thank you. Field Study Day 2. Assigned tasks. There's a monster on the West Celtic Highway. And somebody lost their wallet. Huh. Even fewer than yesterday. Maybe he gave us less work to do because we're going back to Trista today. Sounds about right. He's a very considerate man. Last train headed your way leaves right here around 9 tonight. You get those done quickly enough, you can have dinner here before you leave. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate your kindness. Shall we get started then? Sounds good. Looks like today's tasks are all optional. Hey, Laura, I wanted to apologize for what I said to you yesterday evening. Reen? As I told you then, this is a matter you must come to terms with on your own. It is not something for which an apology is required. That's not really what I mean. I wanted to apologize for making light of the way of the sword. Wait, you read that one too? What I said about being a dropout who's never been able to progress past beginner level was disrespectful. To Master Ka-Fi, to the school I follow, and to the path of the sword itself. And for those reasons, I feel it was inappropriate of me to say what I said, so I'm sorry. If that's the case, then there's one other person you should be apologizing to as well. I can't pretend to know much about your personal circumstances, but regardless of one's background or social standing, one should always be able to live with pride in him or herself. Thus, if you truly did make light of your own... Thus, if you truly did make light of yourself and your own abilities, that is an act of shame for which you owe yourself recompense. Let me ask you a question, Reen. Do you like the path of the sword? It's not really a matter of liking it or disliking it, I don't think. It's a part of my life, an inseparable part of who I am. That's all I wanted to hear. I feel exactly the same way. Laura. So you two are friends again, then? Were we not? There was never any rift between us that I knew about. Indeed, this was all handled rather neatly, I felt. You're both so simple-minded. I feel like an idiot spending so much time trying to devise a plan to get the two of you to make up. Whoa, you did what now? It would seem we've caused you undue concern. Can we all just forget about this and move on? Looks like the ground's dried after the rainfall, so to speak. Glad to see y'all looking a bit less gloomy. Margit, we got trouble. Big trouble. Slow down, Louise. It's first thing in the morning. You're about poised to wake the dead. You're making such a commotion. Where have you been anyway? You're late. I'm sorry. I just got caught up on the way here. But never mind that. We have big trouble. Something terrible happened over at the market. Something terrible, you say? What terrible thing has happened exactly? Well, it sounds like it actually took place last night. 2 of the stalls over at the market were destroyed, and all their merchandise was stolen. That is most terrible indeed. A robbery? Oh my. I suppose that means the market might be opening late today. Which means we could end up with more customers as people wait here for a resolution. Louise, let's get this place ready. You got it. Well, shit. As for you four, this is our problem, not yours. You just focus on your field study. Leave this incident to us locals. You have your own tasks to worry about after all. Of course. We'll be back later. Thanks again. What should we do? I have to admit, I'm curious. It's not far, so we might as well go take a look. Alright, let's take a slight detour and see what's happening at the market then. There's a robbery. It's terrible. More terrible is the Grand Market might not be able to open. Oh, how sorrowful. Once peaceful hearts have now turned wild. Worry not, though. I shall find their lost fragments of love. Feel free to fall for me, for it is only natural. Ooh, baby. All these people means I got a chance to make it big. Yeah, he's carrying the first issue of the Imperial Chronicle, which we already have. Alright, let's go see what's up here. I'm sorry, the Grand Market isn't quite open for business yet. Oh, it's the students from yesterday. Good morning. Opening late today after all, I see. Afraid so. Guess you already know about the robbery last night, huh? 2 merchants whose stalls were destroyed are still arguing about it. You bastard! You're not gonna get away with this! Oh, no, not them. The manager came to try and break them up, but he doesn't seem to be having much luck. I hope no one ends up getting hurt. What should we do, Reen? Maybe we could try talking to them. Considering everything that's happened yesterday, you might just be the cavalry we need right now. Would you mind? Not at all. Let's go. How dare you destroy my stall, you damned coward! I knew you country folk weren't to be trusted. Who else could it have been? Just come clean and admit it already. Who are you calling a coward, you Heimdallrian snob? You're the one who wanted my spot all for yourself. Calm down, gentlemen, please. Playing all innocent and trying to paint me as the bad guy here. You make me sick. What do you say we settle this right here and now? Bring it on. Hold it! Class 7. You kids again. Keep your noses out of this. I'm gonna make them pay for smashing my stall. Smashing? Damn. Yeah, definitely got the business end of somebody's wrath, that's for sure. Wow, they really are completely ruined. This is awful. However, harming one another is not going to bring them back. In the end, they will still be smashed, and you will be worse off. But this anger isn't going to go away unless I do something. He took all my goods, too, so I haven't even got anything to sell. What are you talking about? You were the one who stole my goods. And you're going to give them all back right now, and fix the damage you did to my stall. Or else, I can't be held responsible for my actions. This isn't good. I don't think they're even listening to a word we're saying. What do we do? Stop this at once. The Provincial Army? What? What is the meaning of this? It is the middle of the morning. Stop this nonsense immediately. But, I believe you are the one in charge here. I demand an explanation as to what has transpired. Well, you see, the market manager explained to the provincial army officer what had happened the previous night. I see. The solution is simple then. Men, take them away. Yes, sir. What? What do you mean, take us away? 2 stalls were destroyed. 2 sets of goods were stolen. The truth is as clear as day. 2 merchants in the midst of a heated disagreement committed the crime at the same time. But that's not fair, Do you not think it premature to draw such a conclusion without any investigation? The provincial army doesn't have time to waste solving the petty squabbles of merchants. But I'm not an unreasonable man. Cease your disputes and you will be left alone. Continue and you come with us. The choice is yours. They're trying to force both merchants to forget this ever happened. To sweep the whole ordeal under the rug. Yeah, something about this seems really wrong. Gah. Very good then. I'm sure you can agree that wasting times on shenanigans like this is detrimental to all parties involved. I hope you'll think twice before causing such a ruckus ever again. Now, if you'll please excuse us, I'm a busy man, and I have more pressing matters to attend to. What a bunch of pricks. There they go. Well, I guess they did stop those 2 from fighting, but they did nothing to solve the underlying problem. This isn't right. I see now how the provincial army here conducts itself. I'm sure you're both still pretty angry about this, but right now the 2 of you need to focus on keeping cool-headed. If you have the time to fight, try to use that time for something more productive instead. You'll feel a lot better. Yeah, I shouldn't have let my anger take control of me like that. We can't open the Grand Market for business until we've cleaned up these busted stalls. And we're already running late, so I hate to ask, but would you all mind lending me a hand? Market Manager Otto, with assistance from the merchant of the markets, cleared away the remains of the 2 stalls. And with the help of Reen and the others on top of that, the Grand Market was finally able to open for the day, albeit behind schedule. Thanks to you 4, we were able to open the Grand Market for business today a bit quicker than I'd expected. I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am. Oh, there's no need for that. We barely did anything. I'm just glad no one got hurt. All the more reason to thank you. A merchant's stall is his livelihood. Any action taken against it can throw him into a blind rage, and it's hard to bring someone back from that. It seems the problems facing the merchants in this town are quite grave indeed. The provincial army may have intervened, but it's difficult to believe they would make no attempts to find an amicable solution. Quite right. It's clearer than ever now that they have no intention of trying to resolve any issues involving the market. And I can't see that changing unless we decide to just accept the sales tax increase and keep quiet about it. Still, you'd think they'd be at least a little more subtle about the whole thing. There's no way those 2 merchants are going to just accept this and move on. No, I don't suppose they will. And if word gets out about this, it's not inconceivable for certain groups of people to begin boycotting the marketplace. Something definitely has to be done. I'm just not sure what. Is something wrong, Ree? You're awfully quiet. Are you feeling unwell? Sir, I have a favor to ask. Would you consider allowing us to investigate this morning's incident? What? Are you suggesting that we attempt to find the perpetrator who destroyed the merchant's stalls ourselves? It's a kind offer, but as I said yesterday, this is our affair, not yours. You're students. You have your own studies to worry about, and I wouldn't feel right interfering with them. We're students training for the military, though. We can't just stand by and allow something so unjust to go unchallenged. It's the provincial army's responsibility to address this, sure, but they're shirking their duties here, and that reflects poorly on us all. Well, that's true enough, I guess. But do you really think we're up for something like this? I kind of have to wonder about that too. I mean, at the end of the day, we're just amateurs. We should at least check with Instructor Sarah first and see what she thinks. She's already told us. Put your heads together and think, and I'm sure you'll see what you need to do. Her words. This seems like exactly the sort of thing she meant. At least, it does to me. Oh. I see your point. Perhaps matters such as this may fall under the scope of our field study after all. Yeah, you do make a good case. I'm still not sure we're up to it, but I guess it can't hurt to try. Neither seek nor shun the fight. Very well. We shall do what we can. Are you really sure about this? I'm certainly not going to say no. I'm very concerned about the market and the safety of our merchants. So if you're 100% sure, I have to admit, I truly would appreciate anything you could do for us. Thank you, sir. We'll do everything in our power to find answers for you. Just be careful. Don't go seeking out trouble. I don't want you kids being put in danger. We're dealing with a criminal who acts under cover of night. He may be capable of a lot more than just thievery and vandalism. Remember, I'm responsible for your safety. If anything were to happen to you, I couldn't even look Van Dyke in the eye anymore. We'll be careful, we promise. I know I will, at least. I probably need to be more careful than anyone else here. Now that that's settled, we should act quickly. Yeah, let's get this investigation started. So, first things first. We need to decide where to start investigating. The logical starting point would be the Grand Market itself, the scene of the crime. Can't argue with that. We should probably get statements from those 2 merchants before anything else. Indeed, I anticipate they've calmed themselves by now, so perhaps we can get something a bit more substantial from them. We still have to ascertain their innocence or guilt in the matter as well. We'll need to keep a close eye on the time, though. If we miss the last train towards Heimdall, we'll have no way of getting back to the academy today. Plus, we've been given other tasks too, and I'd really like to get them done. In short, we need to keep moving. Our deadline is 9 p.m. Let's use every minute we have to accomplish everything we possibly can. Understood. You bet. Right. And so, we have control again. So this market investigation is our main quest for the day, but let's get started on our side quest while we're at it. Excuse me, would you happen to be Lizzie? If that's correct, does that make you the students from Thor's who the market manager said would be coming then? Yep, that's us. We came to see you about the request you sent in. Could you explain the situation to us in full? Of course. I happened to come across someone's wallet by my store yesterday, you see. I kept it with me in the hopes that they would come to pick it up, but no one's come to claim it. As such, I'd like to ask for all your help in delivering it back to its owner. Would you be able to do that for me? We'd be happy to help. Thank you. Here's the wallet that I found then. We'll be sure to take good care of it. I assume that you've already inspected the contents. I did indeed. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything inside that could help to identify the owner. What exactly was inside it anyway? Well, naturally there's Mira in it. Like, a lot of Mira. This isn't just chump change we're talking about. The only other thing was a train ticket to Heimdall that's scheduled for tonight. Sounds like the owner's a fairly well-off traveler then. There's not much we can do with that as our only lead, though. I believe the train ticket is potentially our best lead. Yeah, but what should we do with it? Should we go and ask at the station? Yeah, considering it's for a train that leaves tonight, I imagine the owner is frantically searching for it. Which means they might have already been to the station themselves to ask about it. Let's head over to the station then. Sorry for the trouble, but I'm counting on you for this. Lost wallet started. Alrighty then. So instead of continuing on with the main quest here, let's go inquire about this missing wallet. It was this morning. A young lady came along in a panic, claiming she was at complete loss without her wallet and its contents. And she was traveling all by herself. And she decided to return to the inn to do a thorough check. Alright then. Let's ask Margot if she has a person with a missing wallet. Woo. Hey there, something the matter? Do you have a moment? There's something we'd like to ask you. Rena explained the situation to Margot and asked if anyone had come along looking for the wallet. Oh, you're looking for Annabelle. Bad time though, she just left. That's unfortunate. But we have a name now at least. That makes life a lot easier. True, all that's left now is to actually meet with her. She mentioned she'd be searching the rest area in the Grand Market next, so you'll want to head there. Make sure you return it to her, okay? We will. Let's go. Alright, I'm gonna run all around town. Do I have any clue as to who the culprit is, you ask? Oh, how sly of you. You wish to imply that even a heartless criminal would stop in their tracks after hearing my music, yes? I don't recall their face, unfortunately. Simply because to me, they were nothing but another member of my massive audience. I think it's safe to assume he doesn't know anything. Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to know if a young lady came in here searching for a wallet, would you? She was here indeed a few moments ago, but she's gone now. Do you know where she went then? Unfortunately not. She did mention about something about having no choice but to rely on Adios now, though. Does that help you out at all? I think there's only one place that could be. Shall we make our way to the church? That seems like our best bet for now. Yep. We're almost done with this running around town as fast as possible. Just gotta stop by the chapel. That looks like our target. Hi, Annabelle. Oh, Adios, please have mercy on my poor soul. I simply cannot believe this. How am I supposed to live on, having lost all my mirror in a place like this? Looks like we found her. The tragic heroin act made it kind of obvious. Unfortunately, we'll have to interrupt her. Excuse me. Ah! Just who are all of you? Well, you can turn right around if you're planning to rob me. I no longer have any... Please, calm down. We just want to ask you something. Are we correct in assuming that you are Annabelle? I am? Thought so. You wouldn't happen to recognize this wallet, would you? They showed Annabelle the wallet. That's my wallet. Where did you find it? Well, you see. Thank you so much. I'm surprised to hear that a merchant from the Grand Market kept it safe for me, however. Kindness remains within people's hearts after all, it would seem. Looks that way, yeah. Regardless, I'm very grateful that you found it for me. Is there any particular amount that you'd like in return? You can take half of what's currently in here if you'd like. I don't think we can accept that. Your thanks alone are enough. I see. Well, how about this then? I purchased it as a souvenir at the Grand Market before the Great Wallet Search began. I see no reason you can't accept that. In fact, I insist. I hope you find it useful. Thank you. We gratefully accept then. You're very welcome. Thank you again for finding my wallet. Oh yeah. Pickard plush get. Would have voiced those lines, but I had a belch coming on. I'm good at this, guys. Anyway, health 100, defense and arts defense plus 5. It's fine. Yeah, that's more than acceptable. Alright, let's go pay a visit to these jackalops. And to think, I was ecstatic to finally participate in the famous Celtic Grand Market. What did I ever do to deserve this? Excuse me. You. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to see me acting like that. I hope you can forgive me for my inappropriate behavior. He seems really down. It's quite understandable. He's a merchant in his busy market, unable to do business. So, what brings you here? Did you need something from me? Well, actually, Green explained that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what had happened the previous night. You're investigating? That's right, and we'd really appreciate it if you could answer a few questions for us. You may be able to help us find the true culprit. I suppose it can't hurt. It's better than doing nothing, at least. You don't have to sound so pessimistic. Well, can you blame me? You're students at a military academy. You're not exactly ace detectives. That is true. We're not in Crossbell right now. But still, I like to think our detective skills are pretty good. We may even be able to recover your goods. Cooperating with us could prove quite fruitful. Okay, fine. I never said I wouldn't help you, didn't I? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say, though. It's not like I saw anything worth mentioning. You didn't? As soon as I made sure my stall was ready to open the next morning, I left everything set up and went home. The other merchants around here can vouch for that. Yes, I shouldn't have left the stall unattended, though. By the time I got in, it was too late. The deed had been done. So by morning, the stall had already been destroyed and your goods stolen? Come to think of it, what goods were stolen exactly? Oh, I have a sample with me, actually. An accessory? Is this a brand that's popular in the capital? Been a real hit lately, yeah. I was hoping to bring the fat here by selling them in the market. But this is the only one I have left now. I dread to think just how much money I lost in one single night. That damned coward sabotaging my business. It's much too early to be jumping to conclusions. Do you have any evidence that proves his culpability? No, but he's clearly the prime suspect. He was so against the idea of taking turns sharing the spot with me, he decided he'd destroy my stall altogether. I just know it. I'm going to get him to give me my goods back no matter what it takes. But please, try to stay calm. You do know if you cause any more trouble, the provincial army really will arrest you, right? Yeah, I know, but it's a matter of justice. I can't just act like nothing ever happened. It's wrong, on general principle. I'm begging you, please get my goods back, whatever it takes. Well, I can't promise success, but I swear to you, we'll do everything we can. That much I can promise. I think that's everything this merchant knows. Let's try questioning the other one. Oh, thank Adios. Oh, thank Adios. My silk, wasn't snatched up by some sly scoundrel. Time to make father relinquish his wallet to me once again. Oh, yes. Just how much was it again? 300,000 Mira? Or perhaps 400,000? No matter. I'll pay as much as required, even if it means selling our mansion to afford it. Lady, you got a problem. You need help. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but could we have a moment of your time? You're those kids from that military academy, right? What do you want from me? I got nothing to sell you, obviously. Even if I did have something to sell, I've got no place to sell it. Basically ruined. And to top it all off, the provincial army and that other damn merchant are acting like I'm the one who did it. He's not taking this very well, is he? Hard to blame him, but we need to see if he knows anything that might help us. Well, you see, Green explained that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what had happened the previous night. You're investigating this mess, huh? Alright. So would you consider cooperating with us? Sure, why not? Not getting my hopes up, as I'm sure you can understand, but hell, it's not like I've got anything to lose. Not exactly a vote of confidence. Hey, he's willing to cooperate. I say we cut him some slack and hear him out. So, about last night, at the time the incident actually happened. Last night, huh? I don't know how much help I can be if that's what you're asking about here. See, I left the market right after arguing with that merchant yesterday, and I didn't come back till this morning. I stayed over at a friend's place. Another merchant. Just got pissed drunk and ranted at him all night. And you're certain of this? Positive. Ask my friend if you don't believe me. He'll back me up. Wandered over here with an awful hangover this morning. What I found gave me a hell of a start. The whole stall in shambles. And if that weren't bad enough, all the processed foods I was going to sell were just gone. Without a trace. So the goods that were stolen were all processed foods? That's right. Nuts, cheese, bacon. All foods that have a long shelf life, made with local ingredients. Seeing all my stuff gone really sobered me up. It was like I hadn't been drinking at all. And that's when I went over to that fool's stall to make him pay for it. Why did you go straight to him? Because he was the one who did it, of course. He smashed my stall so he could have that spot all to himself. But that doesn't make any sense. If Heinz did it, then why was his stall destroyed too? He must have done that to himself. Probably figured if he destroyed his own stall, no one would believe he could be responsible. I don't know. That seems pretty unlikely. It's a bit excessive. While I understand your frustration, baseless accusations do no one any favors and only cloud the true issue. But it's so frustrating. I've lost so much money because of this. I might have to shut up shop for good. Well, that is bad. If I could at least get my goods back, maybe I could salvage enough to stay afloat, but what are the odds of that? None of the other merchants saw anybody do anything, and the provincial army sure ain't about to help. I'm finished. Pure and simple. All this hard work I put into getting this far, and this is how the dream ends for me? Well, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how much we'll actually be able to do for you. But we'll do everything in our power to help you find some form of closure. So cheer up, okay? I do appreciate that, but again, I ain't about to get my hopes up. Good luck, though. That's all the two victims of this crime have to say, it seems. What does everybody think? I can't be sure, but I really don't think either of them is responsible. Both merchants certainly have adequate motive to damage the other's stall, but the chance of both committing the same crime on the same night without crossing paths is virtually nil. It's not impossible that they were just out to steal each other's merchandise, but I don't believe that's what happened. Both of them have alibis confirming that they were somewhere else when the crime took place. I'm inclined to agree. I just can't see either of these merchants being responsible for what happened. So, we're gonna have to look elsewhere to find viable suspects. Where, though? I mean, who could it possibly have been? It's impossible to say right now. We don't have any solid leads. We know who the culprit wasn't, but how are we supposed to start narrowing down who it was? The market itself seems unlikely to produce any further clues, so we should focus our attention elsewhere. Actually, there is one thing that's been bugging me. There's one group of people involved in this whole situation whose actions don't seem to make any sense. Maybe, if we can work out the reasoning behind their strange behavior, we can come one step closer to finding our culprit. Whom do you mean? I'm talking about... So, who's been acting strange here? Is it the market manager and his wife? Is it the merchants in the market? Or is it the provincial army? The choice here is pretty obvious. The provincial army's acting suspicious as all get out. The provincial army. They haven't done a thing to try and solve this crime, despite it happening right under their noses. And that begs the question, why not? The market manager said they're refusing to fulfill their role due to the tax issue, which means the provincial army should refuse to intervene in quarrels within the market as well. If that's the case, then why did they come and intervene this morning? Now that you mention it, that really doesn't make any sense. Their methods were atrocious, but the fact is, they brought that dispute to an end almost instantly. They did get involved. Yeah, one minute they're refusing to do anything, then the next they're taking a stand. It's definitely suspicious. My point exactly. There's definitely something unnatural about the way they're conducting themselves. And since we have no other leads, what do you say we go take a look at the army's guardhouse and take a look around? We might be able to learn something from them that could aid us in our investigation. That may be worth an attempt. The guardhouse isn't too far from here either. Let's head on over and see what we can find out. And by answering the questions right, we get some AP. Now, I forget where the point of no return is on this, so I'm just checking real quick here. Okay, I don't have to worry about point of no return for a while yet. Good. I can handle all the business in Celtic first. Oh, hey. Aren't you students from that military academy? What are you doing here? We're terribly sorry to trouble you, but we were hoping you might be able to help us with something. Could we ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred at the Grand Market this morning? What? What does that have to do with you? We're visiting this town on a field study as students of Thor's military academy, and we would very much appreciate the chance to see how experienced soldiers such as yourselves handle difficult everyday situations. This seems a perfect opportunity for an anecdotal case study and could prove most invaluable to our education, if you'd permit it. Damn, Laura with the smooth talking. Alright, stay here. I'll see what I can do. It looks like we might be able to hear what they have to say for themselves after all. Nicely done, Laura. In times like this, we need to make good use of our positions. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn, after all. But now comes the hard part. This makes me nervous. Well, let's just wait and see what we can get out of them. Remember, it's not always what they say It's not always what they say that matters, but how they say it. And even more importantly, what they don't say. Right. I hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedules for this. So, what do you want? And make it quick. I'm a busy man, you know. He's not even trying to keep up appearances. Unbelievable. I'll be brief then. We came to discuss the incident at the market this morning. Would we be correct in assuming that the Provincial Army will be conducting no further investigation? Is that all you came here to ask? Is that all? Should the armed forces charged with maintaining peace in this region not be taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure. You've got a big mouth for someone your age, and it seems you've a lot to learn about how military units actually work. What do you mean? Let me ask you this. What should the number one priority of the Provincial Army be in order to maintain the status quo? I'll tell you. Their number one priority should be to enforce the will of their region's ruling lord, Duke Alberea. As members of the Provincial Army, the will of the nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect. I assume you're referring to the local petition against the sales tax increase. So you're saying as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the Grand Market isn't something you have a duty to protect? Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers, we follow our orders. That's how the military works. And we don't need some fresh military academy inductees telling us how to do our jobs. This is nuts. Does he even have a tiny shred of shame? I was hoping we'd be able to get something out of him, but it sure doesn't seem too likely anymore. Yep, Provincial Army bitches. My man. So, is that it then? I hope this has been enlightening. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do. Wait. Would you mind answering just one more question? Elliot? Fine. Ask it. Well, do you have any idea what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant. All he had left was that one sample. What are you talking about? That merchant from the capital, Hines, was the one who was planning on selling accessories. What? What did you just say? What are you all looking at me like that for? How do you know that? I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all. How peculiar. We only discovered what each of the merchants was intending to sell a short while ago ourselves. Sir! We have our own ways of finding these things out. You do well not to underestimate us. Now, we've wasted enough time answering your questions. We're leaving. Damn, Elliot. Smooth move. Do you think the fact that they know what each of the merchants was selling means they did investigate the matter after all? But the burglary happened last night, and it was only first discovered this morning. Realistically, I don't think there was any opportunity during that time for them to do any digging. Not without running into us. Agreed. I'd suspect they knew what each merchant was planning to sell well in advance of yesterday's incident. Though that would be easy information for them to learn, since Duke Alberea must have issued permits for both stalls. That's true, and the army would have no trouble gaining access to transaction records for something like that. But why would they bother? Maybe they needed to know so they could prepare. Prepare for what? I get the impression that the incident at the market has been carefully planned out for a while now. I don't think those two merchants being given permits for the same spot was a coincidence either. It was probably done to get them to start fighting, so they could get robbed while there was tension between them. Basically, to create a situation that couldn't be brought under control without the army's help. So the two merchants were being used all along. That seems to fit perfectly with what happened this morning. Meanwhile, the Provincial Army has shown no interest in actively working towards a solution, unless the market manager chooses to withdraw his petition. So they waited for things to get out of hand, then showed up to force both parties into an uncomfortable truce. Eventually, the merchants would get worn down enough that they'd feel like they'd have no choice but to withdraw the petition. This is turning out to be an even shadier situation than I thought. Yeah, but thanks to Elliot, I do believe we finally uncovered the truth of the matter. That was indeed some very quick thinking you displayed, Elliot. You'd make a fine military strategist. I just got lucky, that's all. So, what we know is the Provincial Army is somehow involved with the actual perpetrators of this crime. The only way to solve it once and for all, though, seems to be, well, to find them and catch them. But if this was carried out by members of the Provincial Army, that's not going to be an easy task. No, I don't think anyone from the army was directly involved. The soldiers here are far too proud to dirty their hands with such escapades. I tend to agree. Really, whoever the culprits are, I doubt they're still here in Keldic. There just aren't many viable places to hide such a huge volume of goods without them being found. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they escaped by train? No, that can't be. Boarding a train with that much merchandise would raise suspicion for sure. It's been less than a day since the burglary happened, so they couldn't have gone far. Maybe we should ask around on the main roads and ask if anyone saw anything out of the ordinary. Someone suspicious may have been spotted leaving, or even entering town. That sounds like a wise course of action. Come, let's resume our search. We mustn't let this cowardly thief run free. I wouldn't dream of it. Alright, back in control. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. I'm shilling myself once again. I'm Logic Blade. I stream on Twitch, port all my videos to YouTube, so you can check me out there. And I write fanfiction on Archive of Our Own, so go check me out. But not right now. Watch this to the end. Alright, anyway, on with the plot.
Lulu, are you okay? Look what that nasty man did to her.
Is something the matter?
I was just chasing after Lulu near the west exit of town, and there was this weird man asleep alongside the side of the street.
A weird man? To sleep in the midst of a bustling town like this, oblivious to its dangers, suggests he must possess formidable skill.
Or he was just really drunk. Nasty smell coming off of him nearly made little Lulu faint.
That's terrible.
It really was. I don't know who he is, but I'll have to keep an eye on Lulu to make sure she keeps her distance from him.
So he's not from this town then?
I'm not sure. I only started seeing him around a few days ago. I'd never seen him before that.
Really now? That sounds like a lead if I've ever heard one. If he's drinking in the middle of the day, and isn't Instructor Sarah, then we know he's not a merchant at the very least. Yeah, I think we should go talk to him. Let's have a look near the west exit and see if we can track him down. Actually. Yeah, the monster's on the west highway. I thought it was on the east highway for some reason. It's not. Anyway, let's talk to dead drunk man over here. Drink. Bring me another drink. Hey, you. This guy reeks. How much has he put down? It's only midday and he's already completely blitzed. I don't think this is the man we're looking for. I think he'd have trouble pulling off a robbery. Sir? Are you alright? We can help you back home if you'd like. Shut up. Leave me alone. Just a good for nothing. It just lost his job. Look at that nature park I wish for my whole life. Nature park? I wonder if he's talking about the Lunaria Nature Park we saw yesterday. Oh, you kids know it? You see, I used to be the park ranger for that whole place. And then you lost your job? Yeah. Out of nowhere, too. Yeah, my life to that job, I did. He just came and took it all away from me. The damn official just showed up out of nowhere. Told me I was sacked. Can't just take a man's livelihood off him like that. It's not fair. Your job was my life. My life. Yes, we can see that. Something about this doesn't sound right. I agree. It hardly seems fair to take a man's job away from him without good reason. Right. I'm so glad I said how I feel. There's no way a bunch of kids like that are gonna do a better job than me. Kids? I was drinking here last night too, see? A bunch of kids in ranger uniforms went walking out the town through the west exit. Weird thing was, there was carrying a bunch of wooden boxes too. In the middle of the night. Kids these days, I tell ya. You don't think they could have been the nature parks? I wouldn't have even considered it. But given its size, it would no doubt be a perfect hiding spot. Yeah, they'd have no trouble stashing the merchandise there undetected. The men standing at the entrance yesterday were probably there as lookouts. And if a provincial official was the one who told him he was fired, that's practically a smoking gun. Say something useful or something? No, I said, but helped you out. Well, buy me a drink. I would suggest you start trying to sober yourself up instead. There's a good chance we may be able to recover both your park and your job. What? We know our next stop. As soon as we're fully prepared, let's head out to the Lunaria Nature Park. Right. Alright. Got ourselves the lead. All it took was some good old-fashioned legwork. So, let's save, and let's get started, shall we? That's a lie. Let's not. I was like, yeah, let's go do that. No, I need to buy a weapon or two. Ideally, I would buy weapons for everyone, but don't think I quite have the mirror for making that a reality right now. Yeah, seriously. Okay, I got enough mirror, I think, for everyone. Not gonna get super invested on buying armors and such, but I do want to get through these. I do want to get through this boss fight a little easier, because, you know, we're getting closer to the end of the chapter. We're gonna run to a boss fight. That's pretty standard. Standard fare. You should at least expect that by now. Alright. I can't open any more slots yet. I know this already. Don't tempt me with your Vixen Tricks game. And so, off we go. There's also our monster quest on this highway here, so...
It's my turn.
Right. We should take a right here to reach the nature park.
Right. Let's go.
Left, let's go.
The advantage is ours. Here we go. There.
It's my turn. Fire!
See, now Lisa can actually do damage to this thing, where she couldn't before.
Oh, we did it!
Right, whatever. Moving on. I think that's our monster. But first, let's deal with this thing.
Now's our chance. Here we go. All right, let's do this.
Okay. It's my turn. Huh. Now.
Got it.
Right.
Right. Fire.
Oh my god, Elisa, please. You have a bow. You're supposed to hit things.
Is everybody okay?
Guess not. Guess hitting things isn't in the cards today. Yeah, this is our target. Let's go.
Be careful, this one looks strong.
My turn.
Well, I guess it's getting the first turn.
Let's do this.
So,
Leave it to me.
well, it's fine.
My turn. Shatter! Behold, my most powerful strike! Radiant Blade Dance!
Yeah, that's why I didn't want it to have the first turn, because it will cast on me, and casting on me is very rude.
Burn! Now! Time to finish this.
Leave it to me.
Understood.
And yeah, let's just smack it real good. Oop. This is gonna hurt a little bit. Nah, we're fine.
Go.
Nothing to worry about.
There.
Oh jeez, my party's so split up right now.
Keep it up, everyone!
Right.
I think Heat Wave's my strongest. Actually, it's weak to fire, so yeah, Heat Wave should be good here. Toasty. How you guys feel about fried chicken?
Is everyone okay?
Alright, Elliot's Force Quartz is level 2 now. Yeah, that's right, we're running this gimmick down to the very end here. Alright, quest monster defeated. And we got the Breath Quartz. I'm putting that on Elliot instead of Tyr. Because, yeah, Breath is actually just more useful at this point in time, so we'll be operating with that. It also lets me do this. Boom. Alright. No treasure chests along the way here. And I'm gonna try to avoid some fights. Luckily, the enemies have, like, no aggro in this game, so it's very easy to avoid them.
Enemy sighted.
But sometimes you just want to run right into them.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, leave it to me.
My turn!
Of course. Ta!
It's my turn. Hang in there.
You have my thanks.
Thanks!
Of course.
Here we go. Okay, it's safe for now.
Yeah, give me that. Give me that good stuff. Although, actually, I should switch Force and Brave. Might sound silly, but I actually should do that. Because, well, they give me about the same amount of strength right now, but Laura uses her CP more efficiently than Elliot does, but I still want the strength buff on him. I came across a book I finished reading while cleaning the bookshelf. I can't be bothered getting rid of it, so here, you can have it. You seem kind of busy right now, but give it a read later once you have the time. Chapter 3 of Red Moon Rose, which we will read much later. Alright, so we're gonna break into the forest here. That does it for our miscellaneous things we need to take care of. We got the chapter Red Moon Rose, we took care of the quest monster. So, all that's left is to continue on with the plot here.
Doesn't seem like anybody's here. I wonder what happened to those bossy guys who were here before.
They ran
If
away.
They really are the
Cowards.
culprits. Maybe they've run away already?
This woodland is too dense to reliably intuit whether anyone awaits within.
Yeah.
What's this?
Oh, they just happened to drop one of these bracelets. Perfect.
A bracelet?
How did a bracelet come to be in a place such as this?
Just as I thought. This bracelet has the same design on it as the ones that the merchant from the capital was planning on selling.
Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer, Laura.
Really?
You're sure?
Positive. There's not a doubt in my mind that it was designed by the same person. Care to give a second opinion on that, Laura?
I'm hardly qualified to weigh in on recent trends, but there do seem to be a number of similarities between this bracelet and the merchant's goods.
So the fact that it's here means...
Yeah. It's extremely likely the culprits we're looking for are inside this park.
Sure seems that way to me.
Aw. Have to go on a nature adventure? Lame. Oh no, there's a
It
lock.
only opens from the inside. I suppose that leaves us little choice.
Are you going to destroy it?
Yeah.
Will you be able to...
The lock seems quite solid, but my sword should be strong enough to...
Wait.
Lockpicking Laura, the #1 video series on YouTube. If whack it with a sword doesn't
I'll do
work,
it. I can
try
get it
whacking
done
it
more
with a curved
quietly.
sword.
Oh?
Really?
Well, what are you going to do?
Alright, Reen, man up.
The 8 Leaves, One Blade School's 4th form, Autumn Leaf Cutter.
Seriously?
Yep.
Wow! You cut it right in two!
I did, thankfully.
Spectacular.
What amazing form.
It's an honor bearing witness to one of the skills of the 8 Leaves School.
Thanks, but I'm still more or less a beginner. Anyway, we don't have much time left. Let's head inside and see if we can find them.
Right. We need to find them before the sun starts to set.
Looks like we can still make it after all.
Excellent. Come then, we must make haste.
Alright. So, luckily for us, we got an orbit charging station here.
There's tons of little stone monuments in here.
Yeah. What do you think they're supposed to be?
I imagine they were made by the animists in this province.
This is one of my favorite, just like, general locations in Cold Steel 1. It's got a nice, you know, atmospheric feel to it. Reminds me of the, nature parks near home.
The advantage is ours!
Of course, without all the snow.
Go! There!
I can do this.
Right!
Of course. Evil will fall before my blade.
We're having a good time here. Nothing but good times being had here in Cold Steel Land. No relation to New Zealand. Also, you break all the boxes, you get a Chivo. That's a lie. They're obviously...
Is that a treasure chest?
No, I don't think it is. I
Now's
think
our
that's a
chance.
mushroom.
We can do this.
My turn. There. Now's our chance.
I've got you.
You're finished.
I can do this.
Of course. Huh? You still have a lot of training to do.
I did it.
I did it.
Boom, boom. Alright, a citrus bottle.
This way's a dead end.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, this park covers a lot more area than I was expecting.
But yeah. Citrus bottles, pretty nice, preventing faint. I don't think we were dealing with any monsters that can faint, but
The advantage
I
is
think the
ours.
boss actually does. So
My turn.
I'll just have to remember to put that on when
All right.
when it
let's
gets
do
time.
this.
Yeah,
Leave
leave
it
it
to
to
me.
me. It's my turn.
Right.
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 See, look at that.
Now.
Now Laura's crafts are CP neutral
My turn.
because she just kills everything she hits.
My turn.
Because that's the Laura life for you.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
Not bad.
Laura being a specialist works well to her advantage compared to other characters who are more well-rounded. Hitting things really hard has a very good niche in this game.
Now's our chance. Let's get him. My turn. There. Go.
I've got you. Right. Fire. Go.
Go.
Oh, we did it.
And because of the way the orbital staves work in this game, they actually buff on both strength and arts, and by boosting your strength really high, they kind of get absurd with their damage output. I know it sounds weird and counterintuitive, but you want to make Elliot and Emma, like, buff as hell.
Now's our chance. We can do this.
It's not actually a strategy I've tried before, but it seems to be working quite well so far. Let's motivate.
All right. Let's do this.
Got it.
Okay. It's my turn. Go. Green.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Huh? We should keep going.
I did it.
Alright, that's all the treasure chests around here.
That looks like a strong one. Be careful.
Okay, yeah.
This looks tough.
I can only get a single on it.
Go.
Damn.
There.
Right.
Oh no, giving Laura zero arts turn? Mistakes were made. Mistakes have been made. You know what?
Shatter!
Screw it.
It's my turn.
Right. Good night.
My turn. There.
Okay, these jerks do faint. Yay.
Right. That takes care of them.
Well, whatever. Everything turned out fine. Nothing to worry about. We're all good. Alright, 4 treasures here.
Oh, there's a stream here. This seems like a nice spot.
This spot looks perfect for fishing. We're not going to be fishing. There's no need to fish.
Now's our chance. We can do this.
Oh god, stop giving Laura 0 arts turn. She doesn't have spells she can cast.
It's my turn.
Guys, you're being extremely rude right now, and I won't abide by this.
Good night.
Right.
See, watch. Like, seriously? Why would I do this?
Right.
It did, like, no damage. Come on.
Fire. Now.
Of course. Hey!
Here we go. That's that. Let's keep moving.
Tear bomb. Tear bombs are fine, I guess.
Now's our chance. We can.
Here we go. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, leave it to me. I can do this. Now. Ring.
Right.
There.
Wait, Rush takes 3 points in this one? I thought it only took 2. Oh, well, never mind.
Did it.
I should probably just, you know, save up for bursts, because brushes are only good when they cost 2. Yeah, whatever.
I welcome all.
Here we go. There.
I can do this.
My turn.
My turn. Shatter!
Go. That's that. Let's keep moving.
Airstrike.
I can't sense anyone in this area.
That's because we have more dead ends to check, Laura. Come on. Sure, we're getting a lot of wind up here.
That looks like a tough one. Be careful.
Yeah, screw it. Let's go.
Watch out. This is a... Here we go.
Let's go, Pudge
All
Nuts.
right, let's do this.
Got
Leave
it.
it to me.
My turn. Analyzing enemy attack patterns. I've got it.
Weak to fire.
Fool.
Right. Shatter! Now!
I'll back you up.
It's my turn. Turn to flames. Burn! All right, let's keep on moving.
Jeez. Oh, dear.
Oh, a treasure chest.
I got a coral ring here. That's an improvement over the coral bracelet. No, it's not. It's the default to the coral bracelet. It's worse. So we are not going to be using that for anything.
Hey! Hey!
Go away. Baka. Alright, a Celestial Bomb. That'll be useful.
Hey! Bring it on!
God damn it.
It's my turn. Turn to flames. Burn! Now!
Got it!
Right.
My turn! There! Go!
I've got you.
You're finished!
Of course.
You're finished.
Right.
Right. Hang in there.
You have my thanks.
Here we go! That's that. Let's keep moving.
Alright. This dungeon is fairly lengthy, but it's not as bad as it looks.
Just how deep does this forest go?
We must be pretty far in now. I'd imagine we're almost there.
Laura's right, this is the last screen of the area. Go away.
It's a treasure chest.
So, say hi to our first trap chest of the game.
Enemy sighted! Take him out! Here we go! Alright, let's do this!
Yeah,
Leave it to me.
Right.
Behold, my most powerful strike! Radiant Blade Dance!
Right. Hang in there.
You have my thanks.
Hang in there.
Thanks!
My turn.
Ah. Come at me, bro. Oh, they're all still
Here we
alive.
go!
Oh well. Not for long.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
Experience. Nice.
I did it!
All right.
Anyway, we got the Heatwave Plus Quartz, which is going on Elisa right away here. Because it gives her a little extra strength and defense, so seems reasonable. Doesn't seem like anything worth complaining about, at least. Alright.
Now's our chance. We can do this.
Go!
Dear game, please stop giving Laura 0 arts turns. She doesn't need them.
Now's our chance!
I've got you.
Right.
I can do this. Fire!
Of course. We should keep going. I've only just begun.
Alright. Gotta get this one over here, of course. Just basic Tira Bomb, nothing special.
The advantage is ours.
My turn! Alright, let's do this!
Yeah.
Leave it to me.
Right.
I can do this.
Right.
Her sword was engulfed by
I
her
can
legs.
do this.
That sounds naughty.
That takes care of them.
Look at that. Alright. Mushrooms.
Is that a treasure chest?
Whoa, they snuck up on us!
Wait, what? Come on. Rude. Come on, come on. Give me a turn. Pricks.
Go! There! Now's our chance! Flora!
Of course!
I can do this.
You have my thanks.
Right.
Right.
Elliot's just gonna be down for a few turns here. It's fine.
Fall! Your swordsmanship gets better with every battle.
And I've got a way to go to get to your level.
Alright, we got Scepter up to level 2 here. So, better chance of obtaining Sepith from Arts and Crafts. So, we're getting there.
We have nothing to fear.
Here we go!
We're just gonna have to fight a lot of mushrooms. Is this before they had chain battles?
Right.
Could have sworn they had chain battles in Cold Steel because, I mean, they have them in Zero now.
My turn.
Am I just crazy? Am I just imagining the fact that they had chain battles in Cold Steel? 'Cause I thought I could just, like, fight all these in a big chain.
Hang in there.
But I guess not.
My turn!
Hang in there.
Thanks!
I can do this. Fire!
Right.
Here we go!
My turn.
I'm just being incredibly lazy about this whole thing.
You still have a lot of training to do.
Alright, let me go. Let me go. Treasure get. Golden sphere. Don't care. Away we go. More important things to take care of.
Oh, hey! There's an Orbman charging station.
We must be in the most remote reaches of the park.
You know, in the most remote reaches of the park because the game gave us an orbit charging station. Even the characters know that they're going to be fighting a boss fight pretty soon here. Alright. So, make some slots available if you want. I think this will be reasonable for now. Hold on to the rest for characters I'll be using more often. Or rather, characters I'll have the opportunity to use more often. I already have Thalos and Golden Sphere, so you know what? Sure. Poison seems reasonable. And Earthlets, I guess? Sure, why not? I mean, I might as well show off the customized weapon menu, but U materials are hard to come by early in the game, and with your characters usually switching parties and stuff, the only person you ever really want to use it for early in game is Farine. And I mean, it does add a bit more strength, but yeah, don't urgently need it. I thought I could exchange stuff here. Can I not? No, I cannot. Don't say modify exchange when you can't exchange. Damn it. That's what we call a lie in the business here. Alright, we're good to go. Let's go solve all the problems with liberal use of S-Craft.
There they are.
Not bad for a night's work.
Oh, hey, these guys are voiced. That's neat.
And if those idiots don't withdraw that petition, we'll be able to make even more.
Don't get carried away now. We get a reward for all this anyway. We're making out just fine as it is.
Still, who were those guys? The provincial army seemed happy to go out of their way for them.
No idea. But then, I can never figure out what that man's thinking. None of our business either. We just need to be ready to abandon this place at a moment's notice.
You're not going anywhere.
What?
Who's there?
Ah, you're those students from yesterday.
Surprise!
I know I locked the gate.
Yeah, we destroyed the lock.
Don't tell me you broke in.
It's not a
Indeed,
crime.
we did.
It's not a crime.
It looks like the stolen goods are all here too.
We're the cops. It's not a crime to break into your house.
We caught you red-handed.
Let's take them out.
They're just kids. You should be no match for us.
We got guns.
And since we're all alone out here, ain't nobody gonna see a thing.
Hope you're ready for the beating of your lives.
I highly doubt we'll be the ones to endure a beating here today.
As long as we make good use of the Arcus's combat links.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance.
All right.
Here we go.
Come on then.
Chapter boss
My
fight.
turn.
4 scrubs with guns. Here we go.
Hang in there.
You have my thanks.
Right.
I suppose it actually doesn't matter. Like, yay.
Arcus activate.
Get toasty.
Here we go. All right, let's do this.
Got it. Leave it to me.
Eh. Right. The thing is even, like, worse range than I thought. Just kill these two. Just go for it, Laura. It's your birthday.
Radiant blade dance. Back up.
You okay?
You have my thanks.
It's my turn. Fire.
My turn.
Sorry. Don't be defeated by a friend is a
All
really
right,
good
let's
track.
do this.
Leave it to me.
Damn. They know who the boss bitch is, and that's why they're like, hey, you know, maybe we should not let her be boss bitch here.
I can do this.
Right.
Thanks.
You have my thanks.
My turn. All right, let's do this.
Got it.
Leave it to me.
It's my turn. Hang in there.
You have my thanks.
Anyway, just make sure you keep your CP up for the next phase of this fight. Because, yeah, no.
You still
4
have a
scrubs
lot
with
of
guns,
training to do.
not really much of a boss fight. Oh, we suck ass, guys.
This has got to be some kind of joke. They're kids.
Yeah, but they're kids with swords, and a bow, and some kind of staff thingy.
How pitiful. That barely even qualifies as a warm-up.
Well, when you're used to Instructor Sarah's training exercises, warm-ups take on a whole new meaning.
That's very true.
Yeah, totally. I bet.
Bottom line, we won. Fair and square. I'd suggest you surrender yourselves and apologize to everyone in the Grand Market for all the trouble you've caused.
You know, maybe prostrate yourself before the great and holy Adios before we kick your ass to high heaven.
And we'll be returning those stolen goods to their rightful owners, too.
We would also be very interested to learn who hired you.
You must be out of your damned minds if you really think you've won. Hmm?
Ooh, that sound. I wonder what that could have been.
Elliot?
What's wrong?
I don't know. I just thought I heard the sound of a flute.
Huh?
What was that?
It sounded like the cry of an enormous beast.
Say hello to the real boss fight for this chapter.
What's happening? It's coming this way.
Oh shit, it's the Dodongo. No, it's the Roaring Baboon, Granoja.
Ah! Help!
A giant baboon?
It's huge.
Throw bombs in
I believe
its
we're
mouth.
dealing with the ruler of this forest.
Damn it, we don't have anyone who can throw bombs.
What would you suggest, Reen?
Well, they may be thieves, but we can't just leave them to die. We're going to have to fight it.
Understood.
All right.
Helios, help us.
Adios ain't here to save you, Elliot.
We're the adversary.
Alright.
Right. Shatter!
Now! I'll back you up. Right.
Oh shit.
Give it up, everyone.
Maybe I shouldn't have had Laura go too far away there. Yeah, we'll be fine. Maybe.
I get it.
Alright, Reen can now use his S-Craft. He can also
Here we
S-Break like Laura. We did it.
Go!
I've got you. Right. Fire! Now.
Got it!
Fool!
Go! There! Ha!
Right. Turn to flames. Burn! Go! Time to finish this.
Leave it to me!
Seriously? Oh my god, it's even worse than Laura's. Alright, let's just get the boss mob out of my way here.
Gavel on my blade! Strike!
Well, fuck.
My turn. Shatter! Yeah!
Not yet. There! Ha!
My turn.
Alright, let's pick Lisa up so she isn't wasting time dead on the ground like that.
Thanks. I can do this.
And, guess Reen is dead on his feet. Can't do anything about him. Yep, he's done for. Cool.
Turn to flames. Burn!
Behold, my most powerful strike! Radiant Blade Dance!
My turn. Give it up, everyone.
My turn. Go!
I've got you.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Let's
typically
go.
how it goes.
Right.
Anyway, let's another resounding beat seems like a horrible idea right now, so we're gonna hold off on that.
Analysis complete.
Huh?
Thanks.
My turn.
But he's still kind of not in a great spot.
Hey!
I can do this. Arcus activate. Ha!
Thanks.
Try to get him out of death's range at least.
Right.
Go on the attack, Elliot.
Right. Shatter! Now!
I'll back you up.
Here we go. Ha! Go!
I've got you. Right.
My turn. Now's our chance.
I've got you. Right. Turn to flames. Burn! Go!
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Ta! Off guard. Our time is now.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey!
Yeah.
Ouchies. Well, beans.
Here we go. There. Go.
I've got you.
Seriously? Alright.
Give it up, everyone.
Zareen. The buff's for you.
Oh no, you don't. My turn. Go.
I've got you. I can do this.
I should have one more stimulant left. Yeah.
Ha!
Get up.
You have my thanks. Of course. Shatter!
Here we go.
It's my turn. Hang in there.
You have my thanks.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Behold, my
Okay, I stunned it. Excellent. Absolutely not punished for my misdeeds.
Keep it up, everyone!
Go!
It's my turn.
Thanks! Go! See! Now's our chance!
I've got you.
Alright. No kill like overkill.
Gather on my blade! Strike!
There we go. One toasty monkey.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
Look at all that experience. Got Elise's quartz up to level 2. Get the Fortuna art, as well as a little bit better recovery from KO once per battle. Elliot gets 2 turns of strength plus 25%. And we got the attack 2 quartz, which is going to go on Reen right away here.
Great!
I did it!
I did it!
I've only just begun.
And enjoy the ending cutscene for this
That
chapter.
was kind of terrifying.
I thought we were done for.
Still, at least we were able to defeat it. Reen, what was that skill you just performed?
Oh, it was something I've been working on for a while. This was the first chance I had to put it through its paces, though. I definitely feel like I'm getting the hang of it now.
I see.
Flames, gather on my blade.
You really are amazing, Reen.
Yeah, you're always there to help us when we need it most.
No, that's not true. There's really only so much I can do on my own. We wouldn't have been able to defeat that thing if we hadn't all been working together as a team. This was a victory for Group A as a whole.
God, just eat that humble pie, why don't you?
Well said.
Indeed.
Unbelievable. What are these kids even doing here? That bastard. This wasn't supposed to happen.
I wonder who
What are
that
you talking
bastard's
about?
supposed to be.
What?
Uh-oh.
It seems we have some unwelcome guests.
There they are!
And they're not alone.
Put your hands in the air! Don't try to resist.
Why are you surrounding us and not them?
Keep your mouth shut! Don't think we're gonna go easy on you just because you're students.
Yep, we're being falsely accused of crimes. Woohoo.
Looks like all your hard work was for nothing, huh? Sucks to be you.
They're not even trying to hide their involvement.
Utterly shameless.
You're jumping to an awful lot of conclusions. I see 2 groups of people in a collection of stolen goods, but no indication of which group was responsible. Do you have any way to prove that the 4 of you aren't the perpetrators?
What?
Do you intend to frame us?
This is preposterous!
I'm just telling you that you need to mind your own business and learn your place. The Kreutzen province is the territory of Duke Alvarea. And I will not have a gaggle of bratty students poking their noses where they don't belong.
That's what you get for being students.
You will back down now, or we'll be more than happy to arrest you right here and drag you to Berea Hard City, kicking and screaming.
Damn.
This is ridiculous.
I'm afraid you'll be doing no such thing.
What?
Who's there? Oh,
Oh, who are these jokers?
It's the Railway Military Police.
Oh, that's who these jokers are. The Railway Military Police.
Railway Military Police?
Yeah, the RMP.
They're supposed to be the most elite unit in the whole of the Imperial Army.
Led by the Queen herself, Claire Revelt.
The Icy Maiden.
who even has a cool nickname, the Icy Maiden.
Why has one of the Chancellor's dogs come here?
What is the meaning of this? This area is under the jurisdiction of the Kreutzen Provincial Army. The Imperial Army has no right to intervene.
Excuse you, fuck you, can do what I want.
With all due respect, Keldic is a major interchange station in our railway network. So in point of fact, we have every right to investigate any incidents that occur in this general vicinity, as I'm sure you well know. And in accordance with our investigation thus far, after having questioned all those connected to the incident, we have concluded that it is impossible for any of these students to be guilty of these crimes. Do you wish to contest this judgment?
I suppose not.
Thank goodness we have friends in high places.
Well then, may I suggest you leave us to do our jobs? The RMP will take responsibility for returning all of the stolen goods to their rightful owners as well.
Men, withdraw! We're returning to Keldic.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
You've got to be kidding me!
We had a deal.
Take them into custody.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. All's well that ends well.
Oh, crap. Totally boned.
There's no point in resisting. You're coming with us.
Damned Ironblood dog.
She's really pretty.
Is she really part of the RMP?
No, y'all don't get a
Thank
turn
you
on the
all very
Claire ride.
much for your assistance.
Claire train only has room for one person on that wagon. And that wagon is for Daddy Osborne.
My name is Captain Claire Revelt of the Railway Military Police. We're a division of the Imperial Army. And you are the visiting students from Thor's Military Academy, are you not? I'll need to file a report about what happened here. So would the four of you mind accompanying me?
Woohoo. Paperwork. Now we're really living the military life. Luckily, all that tedium was skipped over. And it's time for us to go home. Mission accomplished. We solved the incident. Kind of just got, just fought a big monkey in the forest and got bailed out by the Railway Military Police. So, could have gone worse. Could have been arrested. That's fun. We really are grateful for everything you've done today. Thanks to you, the stolen goods have been recovered, and those responsible have been found and arrested. I can't possibly express my gratitude. I'm just glad we were able to help.
Besides, it was only thanks to the RMP's involvement that we were able to catch the culprits in the end.
Oh, there's no need to be so modest. All we did was physically arrest the culprits. The rest was entirely on you. If not for your assistance in stopping the criminals from escaping, we would have missed our chance to intervene altogether. I believe the credit for this achievement is yours and yours alone. All this attention is kind of embarrassing. Still, I suppose it would be rude not to accept your thanks. Indeed, you should all be very proud of what you've accomplished here. So, can we leave everything in your capable hands from here on out, Captain? Of course, I'm intending to leave a number of our soldiers here for the time being. Rest assured that we'll take care of any further problems that may arise. We are greatly obliged. Still, while your personal loyalties may differ, both the RMP and the Provincial Army are made up of Erebonian soldiers. So I'd appreciate it if you tried not to stand out too much. Your presence may create some anxiety among the locals. I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Thank you for your cooperation with our report. I'm sorry to take up so much of your time. Oh, no, not at all.
And, we really appreciate you coming to our aid like that.
Oh, there's no need to thank me, really. In fact, the more I think about it, the more I regret having stepped in at all. Overcoming such an impossible situation was probably meant to be part of your field study too. To build character, perhaps. What?
Yeah, I may be good, but I'm not that good.
Oh, hi, Sarah.
Oh!
Oh.
Instructor?
I was wondering when you'd show up.
It's been a while, Sarah.
That it has. 6 months, give or take? Honestly, I had no idea you RMP folks were gonna get involved with this. I suppose you had everything that was happening here figured out all along.
You overestimate my abilities. I did receive a report that suggested there might be trouble here, but that's it.
Oh, from your brother, I take it. Nothing gets past you lot.
And by brother, she means fellow Iron Blood.
We're just trying to make sure we're prepared to deal with any problems that might arise.
Because, we know what happened to her actual brother. No, we don't. I do. But we
I'm
don't.
sorry to say I don't have any more time to catch up with you right now. I really need to be taking my leave. I wish all the best to you and the rest of Class 7.
Right.
Hate to see her go, but damn do you love to watch her leave. Was she really part of the military? She sure didn't seem like it. Her movements and actions, however, were those of a skilled officer. Highly skilled. Yeah, and the rest of the Royal Military Police seemed really well trained too. You know her, instructor? You could say that. Anyway, it looks like you managed to finish up all the tasks I laid out for you. So I think it's about time we take our leave of this place too. Understood. Do take care, everyone. Give my regards to Principal Van Dyke. And if you're ever in the area again, please do come to the market and say hi. You'll be more than welcome. We will. Thank you for everything. And so we're back on the train again, and back home. And Instructor
She's
Sarah's having a
asleep
nap.
Again.
You don't think she's faking it, do you?
No. Judging by her breathing, I believe she really is asleep.
Well, it sounds like Group B turned out to be a complete disaster.
As one would expect.
If she had to deal with them, then come back here on the same day, I'll bet she's totally spent.
And considering she's probably just been spending all day on trains at that rate.
Yeah, good point. Anyone would be exhausted trying to sort that out.
It's hard to imagine her actually working hard, though, considering her usual attitude.
It does seem as though she's genuinely looking out for us, however.
So, this is how our first field study trip comes to an end, huh? I think I might have an idea now as to why we're here, though.
I had the same thought. Testing the Arcus is clearly a big reason for coming here, but it's not the only reason. I think it has more to do with making sure we see everything that's going on with our own eyes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Learning more about places in Erebonia we've only read about in books.
Hey, you know what we've been doing in the past 5 games, where we've been going around getting the lay of the land, learning about places? That's what we're doing here! Gasp. How novel.
And getting to see the issues occurring in those regions firsthand, just like in Celtic.
Indeed. And just as we thought and acted swiftly in the face of crisis this time, so too may we be called upon to do so again. These field studies may aim to test and cultivate those skills in preparation for our futures.
Exactly. Add to that good judgment, decisiveness, and general conduct, and I'd say we have a pretty clear picture as to why we're out in the field. Basically, we're training everywhere we go.
Yep.
Well, you're about half right.
God damn it, Sarah.
Instructor.
I was so certain you were sound asleep.
What can I say? I can nod off and back on again in the blink of an eye. It's what I do.
It's my special talent.
As you rightly noted, having first-hand knowledge of the areas to which you might be deployed is of tremendous importance, as is the ability to make swift, accurate judgments and solve problems with or without orders. Developing all these skills to their fullest is definitely a major part of why you're undertaking these field studies.
Just as I thought.
It's an interesting approach, but honestly, I've never heard of any other military academy trying it.
Yep.
You say we're only half right, however. Which begs the question, What's the rest of the story?
Oh, the other half is we just enjoy trolling you.
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, not at all. I was just thinking about what we did during our field study and why we were doing it. The whole concept seems eerily similar to the MO of bracers.
Now that you mention it...
The Bracer Guild prides itself in protecting civilians over all else, so it seems an unusual source of inspiration for a military academy.
Because the military is more concerned with killing civilians at a high rate. Wait, no. That's not what they're supposed to be doing, it's just what they end up doing.
But the tasks we were given in Keldic do seem to align themselves quite well with the Bracer's basic philosophy.
Yeah, I guess so. Their emblem depicts a supporting gauntlet, and that's pretty much exactly what we've been for these people. Bracers still have branches all over the continent, but you hardly ever see them in Erebonia anymore.
That's what happens when you piss off the local government.
Well, you got me. Which means...
I'm going back to bed. Yep. Classic Sarah.
How are we ever supposed to take her seriously when she says things like that, then conspicuously falls asleep?
Well, whether or not we did in fact get her, it still seems like bracers are somehow related to our activities here.
Not that Instructor Sarah is likely to come clean about our involvement anytime soon.
Hey man, bracers fulfill an important role in society, and you can't just kick them out like that. So we're basically filling in for them.
I suppose until she does, all we can do is prepare ourselves in body and mind for our next field study.
Yeah.
Not that we're exactly equipped to handle this kind of stuff, but that's what the training's for.
Is there something else bothering you?
Oh, no. It's just... Well, we've been in the same class for a month now. And this whole time I've been kind of keeping you in the dark.
I don't like to talk about myself. My past is pretty sordid.
What do you mean?
You aren't referring to the issue regarding your swordsmanship, I take it?
Nah, that's only one of my issues. You don't even know half of it, darling.
No, it's not that. It's something I've been hiding from you all this time. Regarding my social class.
What?
Are you saying your family...
Yeah, I dodged the question when Machias asked. But technically, I come from a family of nobles. My hometown is Ymir, in the northern mountains. I'm the son of its ruler, Baron Schwarzer.
You're from Ymir?
Schwarzer. Now that you mention it, I have heard the name before.
Yes.
An honorable family, closely tied with the imperial family themselves, despite being headed by a mere baron.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, maybe Laura should have put 2 and 2 together way sooner than this. But, I mean, this is just, you know, plot conceit being plot conceit.
I never would have imagined you might be the son of a noble, too.
Even though you had a suspicion about it when he said, oh, I don't have a drop of noble blood in me.
I wouldn't have expected you to. I don't act like one. My dad and mom are both quite easygoing individuals. They don't behave like your typical nobles at all. And technically, since I was adopted, I don't have any actual noble blood running through me. I'm upper class in name only.
So, you...
Sounds like you've got your own issues to deal with, just like the rest of us, huh?
Honey, you don't even know the half
I don't
of
think
it.
of it as a big deal, and I don't want you to think
Family
of it as one
issues
either.
is like my middle name.
I just didn't want to keep it a secret any longer. After everything we've been through these past few days, I owe you guys that much. I mean, you're all going to be a major part of my life from here on out. It's only fair to share as much as I can with you, right?
I don't know what to say.
You consider us to be major parts of your life?
I don't know if that's sad or just, you know, how you really feel. I think it's sad. Probably sad, yes.
Honestly, has anyone ever told you that you can be way too serious sometimes? Just be sure you reveal your true identity to the others when we get back, too.
Oh, I intend to.
Youth. Still, even discounting the strangely perfect timing of the railway military police, that ruler of the forest they ran into in the nature park.
What's really going on here?
seems to be a harbinger of something big happening behind the scenes.
So sad. So sad, Zach. You don't even know the half of it. Meanwhile... Holy shit, it's Luch.
I wasn't expecting the Icy Maiden to show up when she did. We may need to adjust our plans to compensate for this interference.
That won't be necessary. This was not a significant setback. If anything, it provided an unexpected bonus.
Kamen Rider Black. Yep.
Giving us a valuable glimpse into the means through which the RMP and Intelligence Division coordinate their efforts.
I mean, it's not like you guys did anything.
With both organizations posing sizable threats to our operation, that information alone makes this all worthwhile.
A valid point. Should we proceed as
planned,
then?
Of course. The tyrant must yet face the merciless hammer of judgment.
Yes. May his lofty ambitions be crushed to dust and swept away.
God. These guys are nerds. Just two nerds hanging out in a farmhouse. You know. Classic evil villain stuff, you know? But with that, we've come to the end of Chapter 1.
Ooh, you're moving up in the world. I've got a little reward here for you.
And you got the Medal of Fortitude for our troubles.
Keep up the good work.
And with 55 AP...
Perfect! You guys are the best!
S rank. We're the best. So, I'm gonna make myself a save here. And that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Trails of Cold Steel. And I hope you'll join me next time as we start off Chapter 2 proper. This has been Logic Blade. You can catch me on Twitch and YouTube. I stream all my videos on Twitch, port them all to YouTube. Usually takes a few days, but they get there in time. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, I have a Patreon account you can check out. And we will be checking the final results of the straw poll today. So, let's see who our grand winner is. It was really close between Laura and Fee. But, in the end, a winner has to be crowned. And, it's Laura. Laura has won 8 votes to 7. Elisa got 4 votes. Emma got 2. Machias got 1. And then my random tiebreaker vote has 1 vote. So yeah, it's Laura time. Guess people love Laura. Woo. Alright. So, take care everyone. We will see you next time. Stay safe. Don't do drugs. Drink your milk. Etc. Etc. I blame Fab. That's fair.